Attention gamers. If an axiom arc is a part of your net worth and you get a takedown, it reduces your ult cooldown by a % of its total cooldown, and that % gets bigger with the amount of lethality you have, which means if you opt into being a full lethal Lisa, you can fully refresh any ult in the game with 3 kills, which means that technically it's possible to ult twice in one fight if you play your cards right. So in today's installment of Rav discovered something that's been in the game for years and then acts like it's the knees of the bees. I bring you a video that ends only when I successfully ult twice in a single team fight.
Let's ride!
Now, as you can imagine, this strategy revolves around not sucking ass because I need to reach full build, but game 1 I get an ace all support, to which I'm thinking, which Buddha religion god's wife did I bang in a previous life to deserve such karma? As it's of no surprise he gets absolutely shafted right off the bat. Then 4 minutes in, my Rammus leaves the game, so I have a little bit of right click and fuck it mentality, thinking this will be remade only for me to eat my humble pie, when it was actually just a rare disconnect instead of a rage quit. As you can see, a minute later he comes in hotter than a spoon at a crackhead's house, only for me to think this is a go next angle. But not to fear, my ult was finally here, which meant the next time that Sun Slut sticks herself to my failed abortion of a support, I can coke and Mentos my miniguns, which was enough to take down Legolas before dealing with the monstrosity that is an early game Leona. Obviously my support does something on par with standing still while freely volunteering to let her take his life, and then I will have to fast forward this part so that we don't fall asleep during this episode of a lethality MF tries to kill a Leona. Anyways, my rolling cat turd of a jungler comes in for the worst timed gank of the century, but as he is fleeing the crime scene I come in to pop a quick ult to kill that archer once again. Everywhere I looked my team was getting just raffle stomped, but I was thinking this may turn out well because I was getting fed and I knew that all I had to do was wait for Leona to use up her 67 stuns on me, and then I would have the ability to ult uninterrupted. And despite my team all having the IQ of a goldfish, I was thinking I may get fed enough to one-shot this challenge in one game. That is until we received one more gank. I ulted because it's basically never on cooldown. Varus died to weaponized piece of clumpy mud, and then we all slowly killed Leona, but then I was reminded that the mental fortitude in this game is on par with a wet diaper, so right at 15 minutes the enemy decided to extra out to Speranza and I wasn't anywhere close to my ult maxing strategy, as I took a break to looks max in the meantime. Looks maxing is a new trend by some morons on TikTok who are taking the concept extremely too far by consuming drugs and bruising their cheekbones just to appear more Chad-like, but in reality all you need to do is gift yourself or another man the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra this holiday season to instantly increase your attractiveness score. Featuring the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra with cutting-edge LED lights, interchangeable blades to different desired lengths, and completely waterproof for those of you who like to shave in the shower. Then there's the Weed Whacker 3.0 that is better in caves than a professional spelunker. This thing also waterproof and skin safe, is perfect for those pesky ear and nose holes. Finally we have 2 gels or creams to keep your crops downtown looking, smelling and feeling fantastic. The whole package comes with the comfiest boxers I've ever worn and a man purse that low-key has saved me on some night trips, so thank Manscaped for sponsoring me this holiday season. Use code RAV15 at checkout to get 15% off this whole package today, and let's get into game 2. This one started out promising when the cosmic ballsack of a support titty tethered theirs to a wall and I came in to act like I did something useful, but then an old version of myself came out that I'm not proud of. You see, my jungler came in for a gank when my support was taking a piss back in base, and by the time I could get up to the action the thing was a lost cause, as I was left alone and dying thinking about how brain dead it was to commit there, only for my jungler to take to chat criticizing my own actions there, while I'm thinking if I walk up any sooner there they just turn and kill me before I get there. But rather than taking his feedback as constructive and trying to improve in the future, I instead decided to talk down to him like the petty asshole I am for the rest of the game. It was no longer about the gameplay, it was about me calling out every one of his mistakes, winning dumbass personal arguments with a stranger that I will never meet in my life or talk to again. This went on for 16 minutes until we forfeited. I called him donkey trash and he launched a campaign for the others to report me. They say you play League of Legends long enough to become the villain, but bottom line, it was a failed attempt. Third game I had a mirror matchup, which sucks because some Timmy in the comments will be like, this video doesn't count because you didn't do it in 2000 LP Challenger, but I really just wanted to hit full build and double ult, so objective numero uno was to diff the fake tits out of this other MF, and things were starting out well. I got ult and the first time my weaponized rose bush tied a hoe up I purposely aimed my ult away from 200 years of game design so that I could get the kills. Because I had Axiom my ult was always up and even though I had to deal with this,
We don't think our champions have overloaded kits overall.
I was still printing kills. This quickly became an ult montage as this meme build was actually starting to feel good when I would have my best cooldown up for every single fight. At one point I got in a strictly officiated dick measuring contest with my mirror matchup and I'm proud to report that mine is bigger. When she would get back to lane she wouldn't be expecting me or the million gumball neon glowing bullets that I just used on her to be in stock again, but sure enough they were always ready to be delivered. I wasn't quite full build but I was still trying to ult early in fights rather than save it for big groups in hopes that I would get early takedowns and finally get to brag about being the two-time champ when it comes to ults and potentially harassing underage girls. And speaking of disrespect, I was flat out smurfing on these kids down here. Then one final team fight broke out as I hit their 8-eyed Jedi with the bubble bomb early before laughing at their MF trying to mimic my greatness. I told her she'll never grasp the skills I have, like barriering after the Garen ult, but a little right clicks and a little spinning ginger deaths, and the observant among you may notice that my ult was already off cooldown again, so I sprinted my fake tits down mid hoping to get another charge of it off before the haters can say the team fight was over, and unfortunately I didn't get the kill, nor would I call that smooth enough to be one fight, so I had to queue up one final attempt. Full disclosure, I was AFK watching TikToks about golf swings at the start here, but the fact that my support used heal at 80% health while under turret was enough to tell me this would be a certified shit show. He literally missed the XP of the first wave because he was standing behind the wall hate typing to them for trying to kill him at the start of the game. Then all my suspicions about this support being inbred and completely brain dead were affirmed when he decided to slowly float into them at the worst time, even without considering their jungler was jerking himself off in the shrubs just praying for some lapse in brain waves to happen. But I gave him the benefit of the doubt to redeem himself with his teleport. To add to the plot, it looks like stupidity is contagious as my autopilot any jungler thought this was a good idea as the main character in this saga was pinging on his way while at the same time backing, while teleport was on cooldown, so I knew this would be an uphill battle for me. I roamed up and kills Cow Sin, and then I'll be damned if it wasn't the giant spectral puking retard who was able to finish off the stragglers, and for a second I thought maybe we will just be okay. I asked him if he was good and he responded by saying he wants am dead. That said, I had Axiom arc completed though, which really meant I would be looking for fights because I wouldn't be holding back on the usage of my ults at any point in time, and I guess he felt the same way about his. That said, he inspired me to use my ults basically on cooldown, and things were going more swell than a bruise as I stuck around to tear down a statue before getting in a right click off with their ash hole. I would stick around in lane knowing that they wouldn't expect me to have ult up again, and I will say having a shit ton of lethality made the damage on it feel fucking fantastic against squishies. Asol teleported in and continued to be the MVP of this game. But luckily that glitter-titted midget had no business trying to defend this tier 2 all by her lonesome, so she helped me knock off another 20 seconds from my ult cooldown, to which I immediately used it to surprise Ashe, and then when that dumbass thought it was safe to try and wave clear, we put her in a coffin as well. Their Mundo went where he pleases, which surprisingly was back to his own fountain, but his death opened up my ult again, to which I went south and suggested we take advantage of being alone as two white women and hit each other with the best hard R. Mine was more southern sounding. My absolutely donkey moron of a support was still trash talking her, which I thought was hilarious, but it was definitely also prompting her to chase him and do stupid shit, so I wasn't complaining. I was now fed enough that I could just position poorly and hit my win fight button, which after a cheeky double was almost immediately off cooldown, and so with 5.5 items I was ready to make my official attempt at 2 ults in a single team fight. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more and brush your teeth tonight, Rav out.